Hello. Ooh, put this shirt up. I want all my stuff showing. Don't want all my business showing. Come on in. Good night. Good late night. It's late tonight. Come on in. Let me know how you all are doing. Y'all don't see Flo growing now. Y'all see Flo growing? Flo got her little jewelry in. You can't tell her nothing. Flo got her little jewelry. You can't tell her anything. Okay? Come on in, you all. Let me know how you're doing. Say hello to me. I know it's late. I said, let me come in and do a video. I was looking too cute. I just came from a party. I was looking too cute. I said, let me go do a video. I was meant to do one on Saturday and could not do one on Saturday. I just came from a party. It was real nice. It was my best friend's sister's husband's 50th birthday. He's from the Dominican Republic. Hey, Carol. And repent now, stay near the Lord. How are you all doing? Thank you. Thank you. So, I'm really enjoying myself. I really enjoyed it. It was really a nice laid back party. Hey, Dolores, how have you been, dear? I hope all is well with you. I know Flo is growing. You see my little, you see my little jewelry, Miss Dolores. You see it here. She's showing out. Flo's showing out. So she wanted me to come on here and talk to you all. Flo wanted me to come on in and talk to you all. She's a little arrogant tonight, a little prideful. So I'm trying to tell her to be humble, you know. She got a little personality of her own. How are you all doing? I just came in to talk to you all. I got a quick message, and I wanted to talk about this Saturday, but I just didn't have time. I was working. So I said I'll come and talk Sunday, just briefly about, letting them go, right? And I wonder, I know you all are wondering, like, who is them? Just anyone, anything, whatever it is, right? Letting them go. That people that seem to be holding you back, you have to let them go. You have to allow people to go through their process. You have to allow God to be God in people's lives and not us being God in people's life, because sometimes we could hold on to people beyond our limits, if that makes sense. We can hold on to people beyond our limits, and we don't allow them to grow. We don't allow God to process them. I received revelation about my purpose in people's lives, a couple of years ago. And my purpose in a lot of people's lives is to be I'm a planter, right? I'm a seed. I plant seeds. I plant seeds of encouragement. I plant words of encouragement when I come into someone's life. I help them see things from a different perspective. That's my purpose. I encourage people, right? So, but it's not my job to watch that seed grow. It's not my job to water the seed. That's someone else's job. Sometimes we think that we're supposed to see the full, maturity in someone's life, when our part in their lives is just a part. We're just there for a season. We're not supposed to watch the seed grow unless it's our children. Now, if it's our children, that's different, right? Our children are different. But people, I didn't waste my tea. I'm glad I didn't waste my tea. Like people, co-workers, acquaintances, people you meet in life, friends. It's really not our job to watch them grow, right? We have to know our part in people's lives. We have to know our part in someone's life. And we have to understand that just how we are purpose, I know I am purpose to be in different people's lives for a season. We have to realize that about others. people are not meant to be in our lives forever, right? It's only for a season. Only for a season. So we have to let them go. We have to let people go. We have to let people go who we are spending too much energy and time trying to get them to where they need to be. Now, if it's not your child, now children are different. You're supposed to, nurture them. That's your job as a parent. You can't get out of that. But adults, young adults, people who are not our children, people who, we want to see grow and heal, right? We want to see the best happen for them. If you're spending too much time to where you can't focus on you, to where you can't heal and do what you need to do for yourself, and you don't took all the focus off what you're supposed to be doing for yourself, and now they are your main focus, they are your project. They're your project. You have to let them go. That's not your place. That's not your place. And if you are a chosen one, right? If you are what they call an empath, I don't say empath, but when you are sensitive in the spirit, you tend to take on people's issues. You tend to carry people's burden a lot. You can carry their burden. Someone just can have a conversation with you, and you automatically pick up that burden. You automatically want to help them. Right? And you can't do that for everyone. You can't do that for everyone, And I understand that you just want to do it, or it's just in you. It just seems like something that's automatic. You can't do that for everybody. I used to be like that. And I had to learn. I had to learn how to turn this sensitivity on and off. I had to learn how to turn it on and off, because when people come to me with a complaint, when they used to come to me with any issue, anything, in my mind, automatically I go into help mode. I go into fixing mode. I go into how can I make it better mode. And I had to learn I'm not called to do that in everybody's life. That's not my job, because that's how you easily get distracted. That's how I used to easily get distracted and off course on what I need to be doing, So I had to learn. And how I learned, let me tell you how I learned to not carry people's issues and their weight and their burdens too much, because God called for us to carry one another's burdens. We're supposed to, but you can't do that for everybody. You can't do that for everybody. That was my issue. Anybody used to come with their little complaints and issues, I'm trying to help them out. I'm trying to fix it. I'm trying to serve. I'm trying to do what I can to make sure they get to a better place. And I learned I couldn't do that. That wasn't good for my mental health. That wasn't good for my spirit. That wasn't good for just me, period. Right? So what I did, I had to learn to deal with my issues. I had to heal myself, learn how to deal with my trauma, what was going on within me, what was causing me to want to carry someone else's burdens, or what would cause me to abandon myself, abandon my emotions, abandon my feelings to go run and help someone else. And I'm over here bleeding and need help, but yet I'm bleeding. Okay? But I'm bleeding, I'm running to help someone else. And I had to learn, no, I need to patch myself up. Okay? I need to patch myself up. I need to heal myself and deal with myself. And then I could be a help to someone else. Matter of fact, I will be a better help to someone else when I am healthy and whole within myself. So that's what I had to do. I had to go, take all that love and energy that I was giving to everyone else, and I had to pour that back into myself. I had to give that to Monique. I had to cut everybody off, okay? The dog, the cat, everybody. I stopped giving everything. What I was giving out, I stopped giving that to people. And I start pouring that back into myself, filling my cup up. And a lot of times when you are sensitive in the spirit, you feel guilty for doing that. I had a hard time doing that, but God had to make me do it. I didn't want to do it, but he showed me that if I didn't do that, if I didn't deal with myself, where I would be in the next year and 2 years. You know, you get them visions. Okay, if you a person that get vision, you can see yourself if you don't stop doing, if you don't take heed to the warnings. So I had to deal with myself, heal myself, fix myself, fill my cup up, and now I'm a better friend. Okay, I'm a better co-worker. I'm a better mother. Okay, I'm just a better person all around because I have boundaries now, healthy boundaries at that. I have boundaries now, and yeah. So that's what I want to come talk to you all about. You gotta let them. You gotta let them go. You gotta let them go. Let people go who you are focusing the most of your time on. This does not include young children that you have to take care of, and that still depends on you. Okay, you have to include them in your self-care. You have to include the children in that. But people who are able to take care of themselves, who could get to know God for themselves. Exactly. Yes, Dolores. Oh, I stopped that, honey. Look, your coach got some sense, okay? Look, she got some sense. She got a backbone, okay? She stopped being this jellyback, and she got a backbone. And I had to stop worrying about what people was gonna say and how they was gonna feel, because I was over here, okay, dying spiritually, mentally, and physically. Nobody wasn't caring for me. Nobody wasn't checking on me, okay? So I had to learn how to take care of myself. I had to learn how to pour into myself and stop worried about what people are going to think, because sometimes when you are sensitive in your spirit, we worry about what people think. But I had to adapt the I don't care attitude, I don't care mentality, and not in a selfish way, in a prideful way, but just being okay with just pouring it to me and giving myself what I needed, giving myself what I was always giving to other people. Because, see, I know my value, okay? I know my value. I know my worth, okay? I know wherever I go, I add, I multiply. It's going to be an addition. When I go, you're going to feel better. You're going to get motivated. When I go, I'm going as a servant. I'm going to bring forth change. That's just who I am. I'm going to bring forth correction. I'm going to bring forth, you're going to just being, having somebody with a good spirit in the atmosphere. Okay? That brings about change when it's in itself. And I'm not saying this in a prideful way. I'm just saying this in a sense of I know what I add. I know what value I have. Okay? When you know that and you get that confidence, things tend to work out better for you, Things tend to work out better when you finally know who you are and you know what you add, and you contribute to life. You contribute to your job. You contribute to your family, to your kids, to your house, to just the world. When you know you contribute, right, and you add value wherever you go, that's a powerful place to be. That is a powerful place to be when you know wherever you go, you're adding. You're not going to a place reaping havoc. You coming from a genuine place. You got a genuine heart. You coming with a genuine spirit. And you understand what else comes with that, though. You understand, because I understand what comes with being genuine, being positive, being a light. There's a lot of envy and hate and jealousy comes with that, but that's okay. You have to, when you understand yourself, it's easy for you to navigate around those different spirits, those hateful and jealous spirits, because when you know who you are, you look at the jealousy more so as to, that's their problem. They got to deal with themselves. They got something going on within them. Because if you know you didn't do anything but show up, and the person have a problem, that's their problem. You can't let that stop you. You can't let that stop you. And that's what I had to learn. I can't let what people think and what I hear in their spirit, what they're saying. And, you just can't let what people say about you stop you, because they're going to talk regardless. They are going to talk regardless. So, but I just want to share that message with you all. That's all. So that was the message. And that was it. I hope you all are having a great night. I'm up late. I got to work tomorrow, so I should be preparing for bed, taking a shower to go to bed. But Flo say, nope, we can go ahead and do the quick video. While she got her little accessories. So Flo had a little accessory, so she wanted to do a little quick video, right? And I said, you know what? I promised them I'd come back Saturday. I couldn't make it Saturday, so I had to come on tonight and give you that word and share that with you. So I hope this encouraged someone. I hope you all are having an amazing night. So, oh yes, Dolores, right? I know. I say, let me just go ahead. I say, I know some people are up, and I appreciate you all for being here, giving me your time. But yes, I have to get ready and go and shower so I can go to work. Hey, Crystal, how are you doing? I haven't seen you in a while. I know I haven't been on here. But I miss you all. I do. I miss all of you all. And I love the encouragement and the messages you all have been sending me, telling me how much you miss me. And I know I'm not going anywhere. I'm on YouTube to stay. God knows I didn't want to be here, but look, I didn't want to be here, but got to be obedient. Because everybody need a word. Everybody need a word of encouragement. And I don't want to be disobedient, and I don't want to not use my voice and not use my gift to encourage someone, because I know when I need an encouragement, people came and encouraged me along the way. Everybody needs someone to speak life into them, encourage them, help them to get through what it is they're going through. Yeah. I was grieving, Dolores. I went through a loss, and then it was I went through. I have to talk about that later. I went through a season, of just craziness. I'm gonna say that. Then I was going through grief, so sometimes even if I didn't go through anything, sometimes you have to take a period, some time to rest. Yep. But I had to pull it back a little because I was going through grief and processing that, and just going through, the motions with that. Yeah, but I was making videos. I just didn't post them. I was like recording in my car. Oh, thank you, dear. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I know one day, I ain't gonna say one day. I know that's that, me going through that grieving period. And I'm not saying I'm over it, because grief just creeps up on you when it gets ready. Okay, you go through your little emotions and things just hit you. It just hit you, It just hit you unknowingly. It sneaks up. It's like a ninja, a little silent ninja. It just walk up on you, and But I have a good perspective and good outlook on things. I've always been able to change my perspective about different things that give me, peace when I'm going through things or when I'm going through hardships. I have a way of changing my perspective and looking at things from a different way. And then work was busy. We had a busy season at work. So on top of being busy at work and dealing with a sick loved one, visiting, it was just like You know, it's just like trying to keep a steady, trying to keep balance. Mm-hmm. Yep. And I understand that too, Chris. It is hard, you know. I understand that. And you know, I allow one thing about me, I allow myself to process my emotions, because you can't deny yourself of your emotions. If you get to the point to where, you know, you want to cry, or you're sad, or you need to step out, if you're at work, or you need time by yourself, do that. You know, I've learned to process grief however the spirit leads me, that is not harmful now. That is. But like, if it's little things I need to do to process grief, I'll do that. You know, if I need to spend time by myself, if I need to listen to some worship music, if I need to pray, if I need to just sit and meditate, you know, if I need to journal, color. It's a lot of things that I do, not just for grief. It's a lot of things that I did to heal myself and get myself out of a hurt place outside of grief, when I was going through, you know, some difficult times in my life. There's a lot of things, I don't say a lot of things, there were several things that I did, you know, other than praying and fasting. That's number one. But I did things like coloring. I did things like spending a lot of time by myself, journaling. Oh yes, Crystal. Yeah, and that's why I say solitude, not solitude. Um, when he isolate us, yeah, isolation. When he isolate us, that's not a bad thing. It's not bad. So isolation is a lot of time is protection. A lot of times it's just separation, because sometimes we don't be smart enough to separate ourselves from people, and God have to do it for us. You know, that's why we having these people betray us, and we have these big fallouts with people, because God is trying to separate us, you know. When God was really speaking to me around 2022, and he gave me a word to speak, and I know I wasn't speaking because I didn't know anything about what he told me to say. I just was saying what the Spirit led me to say. And I remember, you know, I was talking about how God was raising up people who are addicts, and who just didn't have the best life, and who got tattoos, and he was raising up people who the world says, or who the religious world would say is not worthy, right? He's raising up those people to be mouthpieces, okay, for him, to be mouthpieces and warriors for him, because a lot of those people who are not, who is least likely, or the last per se, they're more receptive. They've been through a lot, so they're willing to allow God to use them over someone who really never been through anything, over someone who just walked this fine, perfect life in line, you know. So what God was, you know, showing me, and I see it now, that word he gave me like 2 or 3 years ago, I see that he raising up people who don't look the part, you know, but they walking in authority, they walking in power, they got fire. You know, they're anointed by how they speak and how they carry themselves, you know, because those people are willing, you know, they're willing to do the craziness. They're willing to walk by faith, and they're willing to obey God. God tell them to do anything that doesn't sound like it makes sense. They're willing to do it because they've been through a lot. They've been through a lot, you know. When you've been through a lot, you don't be desperate, but you be willing to do anything God tell you to do. Anything led by the Spirit that you know the world be like, that's crazy. I wouldn't do that. That's crazy. How are you going to do that? That don't make sense. When God tell you to do stuff, it look crazy to the world, you know. And you got to just be willing. You know, you got to be willing. It's going to look crazy. You got to be willing to look crazy. So some people have that boldness, but he gave me that word, and I see that happening a lot. He's raising up these people who, they don't look like what the world say you should look like. They don't look like the put together, the suited and booted believer, or the person who believes. No, these people tattoos all in their face. They looking, you know, how the world would say they looking crazy, but that just shows you where they've been, right? That just shows you that they've been out there, and those people will be able to bring in more people to believe and trust God because of how they look, because of who they are. This is why God wants us to be authentic. He don't want us to be somebody or pretending to be somebody we're not. He don't want us talking like we don't talk, you know? He don't want us code switching. He don't want us he want us to be how he made us. He want us to be but at first I'm like, why is everyone walking away from me? After 2 months, everyone came back. I had to stop. He'll work on you, Crystal. He'll separate you. He did me the same way. I was in isolation a long time. And it didn't feel good at first. But then when you spend that time with God, he'll show you. Right? He'll show you what he's doing. That's why you need to spend time with him. One-on-one. This is about a relationship. Going to church, especially if you're not going to a church that's feeding you, you're not going to get that. You're not going to get that. You need to be listening and fed so he can guide and direct you. And he'll direct you to somewhere where you can be fed. Because sometimes people, be in churches and they're not really being fed. They're just staying there and they're not really getting fed. They're not really getting their faith built up, because they're in a stagnant place. But yeah, he'll separate you. Sometimes, too, he'll separate you to protect you. We be thinking it's a bad thing, and that's what I had to learn. When God put me in isolation, I had to learn that it wasn't just about me. It was what he was trying to protect in me, right? He was trying to protect me from. And I didn't understand that. I just thought, people were just being mean and they was just, no, he was protecting me. And he wanted to do more, like you said, Krista, more of a work in you than anything. Yep. Do more of a work in you so he can get you to where you need to be. And I'm okay with that. I wasn't okay with, not being around certain people, not talking to certain people, not hanging with, and I understand now it was time to separate. It was time to leave. Because sometimes if you don't stop talking, I won't say stop talking. I like cut off. I like cut off better. If you don't cut off certain people, when God tell you to cut them off because they're not aligned with where you're going, when you don't do that, that's when that betrayal will come. These people will start betraying you, and then you're going to feel hurt because he sees things anyways before you see them, but we don't want to let go because most of the time it's our family. It's people we have emotional, what that thing called? Soul ties with. You don't just have a soul tie with an intimate partner. You can have a soul tie to a friend. You can have a soul tie to your family. You can have soul ties to anybody you spend time with, communicating with. It's not just intimately. Yeah, it's just not just being intimate with the person. No. If you talk to a person, you share, y'all sharing traumas. Y'all sharing traumas and y'all little trauma stories, y'all trauma bonding. You can get a soul tie with that person. You really can. So you have to be careful. Yeah, you have to be careful. So, well, I'm going to have to get off here. Hey, Keisha. I know I miss y'all. I really do. Flo losing her jewelry. How are you doing, Keisha? I hope all is well with you. I know you see him up late. I had just came from a birthday party. So, and it was nice to have some good food too. I didn't eat a whole lot. I ate little bits and pieces here and there. I brought some home, but it was real nice. Real nice. I know. Thank you. Thank you, dear. I be trying. Look, I'm trying, Keisha. Me and Flo. You see Flo growing, Keisha? Flo growing. She got her little accessories and jewelry. You can't tell her nothing. Yep, you can't tell. Are you finished with the clothes? Yeah, you can't tell Flo anything. I know she is growing. I'm trying not to be putting too much oil and stuff on her. I'm trying to just keep her nice and just natural. So, I know. S. Bloom's Creations, I know I'm coming back. I just had to take a little moment to grieve and process my emotions, and it was busy at work. So, and you know, it is good. It is healthy to take, a break. Even with you all, it's good to take a break from social media. I know a lot of you all, like listening to message. Thank you. I know you all like listening to people's messages on YouTube, but I want to tell y'all, don't make the messenger God. You still have to be in His Word and communing with Him, right? And I know we want to hear like from people like myself and other inspirational speakers or motivational speakers or anointed speakers. You want to make sure you take a break from them too, and make sure you're listening to God, because you don't want to be listening to too many messages, because you get confused too. So if God have you listening to one or two people, that's okay, right? So you got to make sure that you don't replace the YouTubers or the content creators or the influencers. You want to make sure you don't put them in God's place, okay? Because your word should come first. You should be reading God's word, and He'll talk to you and speak to you how He needs to speak to you, because all of our journeys is different. One thing God gave me revelation on, He gave me revelation on understanding that everybody's journey is different. Everybody's relationship, and I think Keisha, man, you talked about this too. Like, everybody's journey is different. So don't look at my journey and look at Keisha's journey and want to compare yourself to where we are or where you're not, because everybody's journey is different. Everybody's relationship and journey with God is different. You're going to hear, and God is going to show you different things and send you different messages that only you could relate to. He'll send you different messengers that only you could relate to, because they're going to speak to your spirit and where you have been in your life. So everybody's journey is different. That's why that personal relationship is key. That personal relationship is key. God had gave me so much revelation because of the personal time I spent with Him. He showed me things about my bloodline, what I'm dealing with, what curses I need to break, what curses I've broken. And me going through that and dealing with that is not going to help you all as far as the curses, because you probably got something different. You've been through something different. Your strongholds are different. Yes, you can relate, but when you spend time with God, He gonna give you a personal, okay? You're gonna get a personal plan. He gonna give you a personal healing. He gonna give you a personal revelation that's gonna pertain to you. So I always try to encourage people every so often when God brings it to my mind to just remind people, don't put the YouTuber in the place of God. Don't put nobody, no preacher, nobody in God's place. Because one, that's idolatry, and then two, that's not what you're supposed to do. We're just messengers. We're just people to help you along the way. I'm just a seed planter. I just plant seeds. And he's going to send different people to water and grow it, along your way. Some people may get their breakthrough sooner. Some people may get it later. It depends on what they have to unpack. It depends on what they have to unpack. See, not with all of my children, but with some of my children, what I've went through, they didn't have to go through, so their relationship with God is going to be different from my relationship with God. They didn't have to go through so much trauma that they had to unpack certain things. They're going to have to get to know God on a different level outside of being traumatized and hurt and abused, because they didn't have to go through that. You understand what I'm saying? Like, how I know God is not how my grandmother knew God. My relationship with God and how my grandparents knew God is different. Yes, it's the same God, but the relationship is different. They had to believe for a lot of things. I thank God for our ancestors. They had to believe for a lot of things that they didn't have access to back when they were, coming up and growing up and having to deal. Their faith was different. Just like my faith is different from my grandmother's faith. My daughter's faith, my children, my son and my daughter's faith, their faith is going to be different from my faith. Because it all depends on what we had to go through in this world. So we got to allow, that's another thing, we have to allow, yep, exactly, as Bloom's creation. Exactly. I love my time with God. I be getting up in the morning. I get up early before I go to work. I spend my time. I do my devotions. I do my worship. I say my prayers. I have my little prayer strategy. I get up and I be feeling good. When I don't do that, I won't say I don't be having a good day, but I be off. I be thrown off. I be off balance a little bit. Even 5 minutes is good enough than doing nothing. That's how I can stay so happy and joyous and, not bother about stuff and, worried about what the world is doing, because my eyes be fixed on God. God gonna look out for me. I don't know. Sometimes I have to repent because I think I be getting a little prideful, because I'm like, I ain't worried about that. I think I be getting prideful. But then God tell us not to worry, but people be worried about stuff and I'm not worried about it because I know I'm trusting God. Y'all can trust the world and what's going on and what the world is saying. My trust is right over here in God, and it's peaceful over there. It's peaceful. Putting all my trust in Him, trusting that He gonna get me where I need to be. I'm not worried about what's going on in the world. Not saying I don't know what's going on. I ain't saying I'm dumb and oblivious and bury my head in the sand and not know. No, but I'm not worried about it. I'm not gonna let it take control of my mind. I'm not going to, be fearful. I've been through too much. The world was just fine, and I was going through my own personal storm and HE double hockey stick. So it's like, what's different? Because I already done been through. You see what I'm saying? Like, it depends on how you see the world. How you looking at it? Are you being a victim, or are you going to have a victorious mentality? Are you trusting in God, or are you trusting in man? Are you believing what the lying media is saying, or are you going to open the word and believe what God's saying? I just be believing in God. I don't be worried. I'm sorry. I'm just not a person. And I teach my kids not to live in fear. And I try to set an example that you're not going to live in fear. Yes, you be wise and you be alert and you be vigilant. Okay? But we're not going to be living in fear. We're not going to be living in fear. And I'm not going to be allowing people to make me feel bad because of who I am. When you know who you are, nobody can make you feel beneath them. When you know who your creator is, nobody can make you feel less than. It is a powerful thing when you know who your father is. You may not know. Some of y'all may not know your biological father, the real one. Look, the real one. But you know your kingdom dad. You won't be worried about nothing. I know I don't, and I don't like to. And see, that's why when you have this mindset that I have, and you know you're a chosen one, you don't be worried, and you don't live in fear, and you don't always be talking about what's going on. It's hard for you to relate to people. It's hard for you to talk to people because they're not talking from a place of faith. They're not talking from a place of faith. They're talking from a place of fear. They're always allowing the media and the world to dictate their conversations. And it vexes me. I'm going to be honest. When I hear people talking about the stuff that's going on all the time, like everything is going up. Everything is going up but your faith. I'm trying to get my faith the same level to where all these bills going. Look, Keisha. I'm trying to get my faith, rent and everything sky high. I'm trying to get my faith sky high too. My faith need to be sky high, up there with the rent. Rent high, groceries high, everything high. So guess what? I'm trying to get my faith up there too. Whatever I got to do to increase my faith, like they're increasing these bills, that's what I'm doing. Them bills going up, my faith going up. Okay? Okay, you can take that up, take the rent up. The 3 million. My faith finna go up 4 million. That's what it's about. We're gonna have faith in this hour. I know I do. Look, the way bills going up, I ain't got no other choice. I ain't got time to be complaining. Lord, give me creativity. Bless my mind. Help me to create. Show me what I need to do to increase my faith, increase my creativity. What I gotta sell? Do I need to get rid of stuff in this closet? Do I need to sell anything but myself? Okay, we ain't going there. What I need to do? What I need to create? Do I need to get a second job? What do I need to do? Do I need to get another skill? I don't have time to complain about what's going up. I don't have time to be complaining about these student loans. Okay, Lord, give me the mindset, the creativity to pay, because I got student loans. Okay, I be paying them though. I ain't trying to get no wages garnished. But Lord, help me. That's the type of time I'm on. I'm on creativity. Lord, exhaust all my creativity. Whatever creativity I got, exhaust it out. Yes, Chris, I only watch TV there for that reason. I knew I was sensitive. I'm gonna come back to that if I have time. But let me stay focused on this about increasing our faith. And listen, I don't have time for that. I like to look at what I can do. I'm a problem solver. I'm not a whiner that's gonna sit there and whine. What can I do? What can I do? Lord, give me a skill. What can I do? Can I sell some hair? Can I do some hair? Can I have a yard? What can I do? Hey, David, what can I do? I don't have time to. I had to turn my little heater off. I'm sorry. I had my little floor heater. I don't have time for all that. And I don't like to talk to people who don't have a faith mentality. I'm trying to get somewhere. Right? I'm trying to get somewhere. I don't have time to you pulling me down in my faith. Yes, things are going up. Things are going up. I'm trying to get my faith up too. Like I said, if the bill's going up, my faith gonna have to go up. I want to have so much faith. If I hear God say, Monique, come forth, walk on water, I want to be able to walk across the water. That's what I want to have faith for, to walk on across the water and walk on across and get to where I need to go. I don't have time to be complaining, because complaining is what it's going to do. What is it going to do? We got to be creative. Exactly. We got to be creative. Got to pull resources together. Some of y'all got to move back in. Tell your kids, hey, they gonna have to contribute. Pull everybody, pull the resources. Figure it out. Get another job. Pray for, figure it out. Exactly, David. I don't have time. See, I don't like talking to people who are not faith-filled. They just want to sit and doom and gloom. Oh, you see what he doing? Oh, you see what the prayer? I don't care. What is God doing? Let me go see what my God doing. Let me open my word and see what he got going on over here. I don't care what the world's saying. I'm not finna bow down to fear. Let's see what God got going on. That's where I'm at. That's what type of time I'm on. I ain't on no, what they say, I ain't on no demon time. I'm on some faith. I'm on God's time. I want faith, my faith to increase. Praying for good stewardship over my finances that I do have. I just don't have time to complain. And people who complain, they vex my soul and spirit, Lord. And I don't be trying to be that way. But I need somebody that's going to say, you know what? We got this. We can do this. Let's do this. Let's come up with a plan. Let's put our resources together. Let's put our head together. Let's write out a plan. Exactly. Exactly, Crystal. It does. It really does. It really does. I tested myself last week. I was watching a video, and this one video I was watching, I said, you know what, let me sit here and watch this to see, because I test myself on certain things. And they were talking about, I'm not going to really say, but talking about different things that was going on, this, that, and the other. And I got through watching that video. My spirit was so sad. I was so down in my spirit. And I realized just by listening to that video for 3 or 4 minutes, took me way down to my spirit. Then at the same time, I listened to something that was elevating my spirit, encouraging, and I felt better. So what you listen to does yo-yo your mood. That's not healthy. Exactly. Me too, Crystal. Me too. I really do. I really do. Because, you know, that be the enemy. Anytime we try to pray or read the Bible, we don't have no time. We don't feel like it. We'll be tired. But we can sit on social media and sit there for hours and watch videos and listen to other people. But when it's time to pray and read the word, we tired. We get sleepy. I fight myself. And that's why I start reading as soon as I get up when I have energy. I start doing it like that so I can give God the first fruit of my day. Even if sometimes the enemy will tell me, check your phone, because I use my phone for my instrumental worship music. You know, the phone is used for everything. Clock, flashlight now, everything. So I make myself just focus on what I'm going on the phone for, and I start my early morning devotion. Yep. So that's what I want to talk to y'all about. I hope this message encouraged you all, because I need to go and take a shower and get myself into bed. Take Flo jewelry out, because I can't wear this to work tomorrow, you know. Oh yeah, I do all, Krista. Look, whatever helps you heal. Oh, I made this with the group. I had a gratitude jar. I did a free class. I think that was last year. I don't remember the date, but we made gratitude jars, and we came online and we shared our gratitude jars. And this jar here, I told them to put down things that they've accomplished. You know, you can put affirmations, Bible scriptures, things you overcame, things you like about yourself, things that you help someone else do. And when I get down, I go in this jar and I pull something out to remind myself who I am. Good night, Dolores. I remind myself who I am. Dolores was there. Yep, Dolores did her gratitude jar. Yep. Oh, yeah, I love colors too, right? Yeah, Crystal. Yeah, I went and I got this here. And And I made it, decorated and made it. So I have it on my dresser. So whenever I want to be reminded of something, I come in here. But I journal a lot too. I journal a lot. So, and this is my first one right here. I am debt free. I'm debt free. Yep. But I got so many reminders in here. Yeah, Crystal, you're welcome. And I don't know, you probably don't come on my channel all the time, but I used to do a lot of like free coaching classes. Keisha will tell you. And a lot of people wouldn't sign up, but I still poured into the ones who signed up for the free classes because I just was led to do it. But they still had value, in the classes. But I didn't get that much participation, and that was fine because I just felt like God sent whoever needed to come at that time, So, but, I'm going to start back up. Everything happened for a reason and a season. But I am working on a few things, and I think the time is now. I think when I was doing things, I don't think it was out of God's timing, but I just don't think probably was out of God's timing. I'm gonna say that. I probably was. I don't know. I can't say nothing else but that. Like, probably was out of timing, I wasn't in the right time. But he's bringing some things back around to me to start back doing. And I think this time, the right people that need to be there will be there, And he probably knew too, like I said, not right time. He probably knew that I would be going through that process of grief and dealing with that grief for that short period of time. And everything around it. Okay, everything leading up to it, then everything around it. Yeah, it was a lot. It really was. I probably share with my group. I don't like to share intimate stuff like that online, but I probably share with my, with my members, like the details of what I'm talking about. Yeah, so. Well, good night, you all. It was so nice seeing you all, talking to you all. Keisha, I hope all is well with you. Thank you, Crystal, Dolores, David. Y'all, thank you all for stopping in. S. Bloom's Creation, Crafting, and more. Thank you. Yep, I don't take this lightly. You all gave me your time, and I appreciate it. Yep, I really appreciate it. But we are going to have a meet and greet coming up soon. It was supposed to be for the beginning of this month. I'll probably do it for a week out for the members, those who are in the membership, or even probably on those who are on my emailing list. I'll probably send you all the information so you can come in, do just the 1 hour meet and greet, see who's behind the, the names on, social media. You get to put a face to the name or a name to the face, however they say it. And we just talk and, encourage one another, and whatever God leads me to say and do, I just do it. There's nothing really planned other than being led. So you all be blessed, and hopefully I'll be back sometime this week. But you all be blessed. It was nice talking to you all tonight. So I got to go get myself prepared for bed. Okay? So you all be blessed.